budget cuts,
retcon,
a demon child,
and Nicolas Cage.
These are the 4 elements of
Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance.
a sequel, or is it a reboot?
Nobody seems to know. Salutations, Detective Mio here.
And Inspector Guido here to tell you about the second and final Ghost Rider movie.
It is not only the worst Marvel sequel, according to Rotten Tomatoes, but also a select few think it might be the worst Marvel movie ever made.
To find out for sure though, we'll have to dive right in.
Let the investigation begin!
We start off the movie with some extensive and very necessary motorcycle scenes. Just in the first minute of this movie, I can tell there's a different director, or rather, directors.
Now there are 2 of them.
This motorcycle man's name is Moreau, a Frenchman who's being played by a Britishman. Not confusing at all.
There's some thinly veiled exposition about how these monks are protecting a boy child, Danny, whom the devil desires, until the hour of prophecy has passed.
Moreau says that the boy is in fact not safe, and he's proven correct pretty quick after some terrorist-looking folks start breaking in and killing monks while searching for the boy.
Moreau tries to offer help to said child and this random woman who has yet to be introduced, but they don't know or trust the British Frenchman, I wouldn't either, and run off without him.
Interesting transitions, by the way.
Where are they? Shut up!
I don't know, guys. I think he might be a bad guy.
There's a motorcycle car chase after the boy and mother, and Moreau tries helping out but gets knocked off his bike. And, well, this scene is interesting, as fake as it looks. Turns out it's all practical, I guess.
That was a fast introduction, much faster than the first film. Maybe too fast.
Oh wow, but now Johnny's recapping his origin story.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
He tells of how he sold his soul. What? He tells of how he sold his soul to save his dying dad, but the scene recreation is nothing like the first movie. He didn't cut his hand on bottle shards, and the devil is played by a completely different man. And the devil goes by Rourke, sometimes for some reason.
Are you willing to make...
You gotta be kidding me!
Anyways, by selling his soul, Johnny is possessed by a demon and now turns into the Ghost Rider in the Peasants of Evil. He sucks out their souls. Johnny can't hold back the dark anymore, so he runs halfway across the world to escape the dark? Seems like the equivalent of running from one's own shadow, but who am I to judge?
Johnny now has a scar on his hand that he didn't have before, and they reference it constantly.
Moreau arrives and rudely barges into Johnny's gloomy room, where Johnny attacks him.
As dead as should I be, if not for the intervention of God.
No words, no memes can describe the feeling of confusion this scene gives. What even? Moreau was all like,
You're the Ghost Rider!
and tells him a bunch of things we just covered in the recap already, and Johnny is like,
Who are you? I'm not the Ghost Rider.
but they make an agreement to get Johnny his soul back if Johnny can help Moreau find the kid.
This woman is the boy's mom, and despite being all sneaky and thiefy, they're still being tracked by the goons from earlier.
That night, the goons run down the woman and child while Nick Cage starts acting only as Nick Cage can. He's just wigging out, and then he transforms into the Ghost Rider.
We will mention some good things about this movie, few and far between as they are, one of which is the Ghost Rider's transformation and reveal, which I believe works more cinematically than the first movie. That was just weird.
Actually, what she's doing here is probably the worst thing she could do. Yo, goons, just shoot the woman and take the kid. It's that easy.
Kerrigan.
This man's name is Kerrigan.
Look, I've got people after Danny and me. So just let me go.
I'm the people after you.
Things are looking grim, but then the Ghost Rider himself appears and... Wow, that's just sad. What happened to the Hell Cycle? It's been totally downgraded. I guess the budget is a lot smaller for this film, and they decided to cut costs by just lightly charring the bike instead of adding a noticeable design. Honestly, lame.
Ghost Rider murks 2 people at once. Besides, this guy's soul is looking pretty tasty. Ghost Rider during the scene really acts differently from the first movie as well. A bit more like a crazy person. Now, I guess in this case, like Nicolas Cage. Ghost Rider gets back to business when he senses the kid, but then he's hit by a grenade and he's down while the baddies flee with the boy.
Johnny wakes up in hospital and flirts with a nurse before chasing after Nadia. Nadia pulls a gun on him as any rational human would, but eventually they get their crap together and are off to the next plot point.
Guy who kidnapped Danny and tried to kill you and blew me up. You two were like boyfriend, girlfriend?
Ugh, I cringe.
Apparently, Nadia made a deal with the devil, and as Johnny so delicately puts it,
You're the devil's baby mama.
Meanwhile, Kerrigan calls his employer, Roark, the devil. The lackey tells Roark that they're being tracked by a Ghost Rider, and Roark activates a firewall inside of Danny because Danny's like a computer. I'm pretty sure the writers just learned what firewalls are.
Why does the devil walk on Earth in human form anyway? I have no idea.
Oh my, how nice! An exposition dump via Nicolas Cage voiceover. So, the devil's human bodies don't last very long. This would be a great time to explain why they didn't bring back Peter Fonda, who did want to return to the role of Mephisto. As it is, it's still Claire Hines in the flashback, so never mind!
Whilst the goons are driving along, the kid grabs the wheel, crashing that car like a psychopath. And then he tries to run, but hurts his knee and is caught. Doing those shenanigans, the car blew up for a cinematic shot, so Kerrigan only has one goon left, and steals a camper van from some hipsters. Overall, this scene doesn't accomplish too much.
Johnny and Nadia corner a guy who knows Kerrigan, and then shakes him down for info. Johnny threatens him and is all like, I'm the Ghost Rider, man.
Scraping at the door! Scraping at the door!
I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Is this what it's like to be high?
The way I see it, this movie is either bad, but the filmmakers are super unique, or the filmmakers are really, really bad, and the movie's unique because of their badness.
You tell me I would eat just think it so good!
We'll just assume the former to give the benefit of a doubt.
Kerrigan gets some new weapons as opposed to getting the heck out of Romania. Actually, wait, thinking about it, just send in a chopper.
Nadia rescues Danny, and Ghost Rider crashes the goon party and starts killing everyone. But Kerrigan was ready for him this time, and he still loses. It's actually insane how easily he kills everyone.
I'm sorry, what?
You know what, with the rule of cool, I'll give this a pass.
Ghost Rider's a bit hungry, so he's about to penance stare Nadia's sorta evil soul, but Danny stops him with some kind of power.
Let her go.
Hey, that's cringe, stop it.
Later, it seems like Johnny and Jenny are getting along pretty well, and they have a grand old time. They catch up with Moreau and head off to the safe place.
Hey, what if you have to pee while you're on fire?
Speechless. That's what I am. Speechless.
Johnny explains that the dark things inside of them don't define them, but the kid is like, you're gonna get rid of yours, and Johnny has been defeated by facts and logic.
And now let's check on Kerrigan, who's pinned under some debris. Mephisto shows up to give him some new orders, and Kerrigan delivers his best line in the movie. Oh, Kerrigan, just like me, for real, for real.
Mephisto brings him back, but somehow transforms him into the undead man/creature, Blackout, which sounds eerily familiar to Blackheart, the character from the last movie.
Blackout's powers include big jump, much strength, and decay. Johnny and Moreau hand off the kid and mom to the tatted up monks.
And despite knowing this would happen, Danny insists on being upset.
Moreau tells Johnny that his demon side is actually an angel named Zarathos, who was tricked into going to hell, tortured, driven insane, and became the spirit of vengeance. Yes.
You must confess the one thing that is most difficult for you to talk about.
That seems suspicious. Johnny confesses that saving his dad was selfish because he couldn't let him go. I didn't get that from the first movie, but that movie isn't even canon anymore, so who even knows?
Johnny goes into a cave and starts working out and doing whatever this is.
Wow, more interesting visuals. Turns out, while Johnny was getting exercise, the monks were struggling with Moreau and Nadia and are planning to execute the devil spawn Danny.
Johnny tries to interfere, but it does nothing, and the lead monk chooses to nerve pinch Nadia for some reason.
The three are taken away, but before the monks can take out Danny, Blackout shows up and kills everyone. It's actually kind of lame. I was hoping that this guy with the sword would do something, anything.
So Blackout has Danny. Later, by unknown means, the crew manages to escape wherever they're being kept. Don't ask me how.
Somebody got here before they could.
Before they could kill him.
There's no sign of him.
Oh yes, Mephisto's plan is apparently to use Danny as a host body for him to take over because he's half human and won't decay like Mephisto's previous bodies.
No.
Once that happens, it's good night for Danny. Forever.
Why the hell didn't you tell us this, Moreau?
Hey, you were the one that made a deal with Rock. Both of you. Something I would never do.
I'm siding with Moreau on this one.
So now you want to play hero? You got what you wanted.
Shut up!
Oh, Nadia, please, just get over yourself.
Moreau tells them where the ritual is going to take place and shows them the monk's weapons cache. What kind of monks are these again?
In Ozak Gokten, Turkey, I hope I said that correctly, Danny meets his devil daddy, who tells Danny his evil plan. He only does this only to make sure the audience is still following the story, because he just sedates Danny afterward. That guy looks fake.
The Goody Gang spies out their target and sees a bunch of politicians, killers, and people of influence. TikTokers, who are the devil's pawns.
Nadia gets emotional for a little bit, but it doesn't matter and I don't care.
The ritual is starting, and it looks very silly.
Nadia snipes some dudes before Moreau and Johnny punch some people.
Johnny goes after the kid, and Moreau goes to the front door to cause a distraction. I sure hope nothing bad happens to him.
Back to the silly ritual. Ooh, demon black eyes. Ooh, hey yo, what the?
Maybe that's what inspired that one thing from the Acolyte.
Moreau pops out and starts blasting everyone with reckless abandon. Johnny runs out to try to get Danny, but the demon energy will not let him touch the child.
Moreau then has the most telegraphed death scene in all of cinema at the hands of Blackheart. Oh dear.
It's actually blackout.
Oh, Moreau. Oh. Moreau then has the most telegraphed death scene in all of cinema at the hands of Blackout. Oh dear.
Johnny is captured, and Demon Danny approaches him slowly. Johnny says, "This isn't the real you." And Danny, knowing what Roark told him for no reason, has some non-verbal communication with Johnny, and throws some possession fire at Johnny, restoring the curse of the Ghost Rider.
How did they know this was going to work?
Why is it so easy to become the Ghost Rider?
I know why.
It's because
It's a contrived plot convenience.
Ghost Rider is awakened and takes out literally every unnamed cultist in the group. That's a lot of dead important people that probably won't be explained later.
TikTokers?
Blackout is just not there anymore, and Roark grabs the tuckered out Danny and already has booked it out of there.
Ghost Rider gets on his bike. Kinda lame. I was hoping he was gonna jump off the cliff onto it or something. And takes off after Ruark. And Nadia. Nadia is also chasing Ruark. By the way, at this point we've been shifting between calling him Ruark and Mephisto. I hope you aren't confused.
Blackout tries to kill Nadia, but Ghost Rider engages him. At first, Blackout is winning, but the script says he loses, and now he's dead.
Ghost Rider takes out Ruark's car and almost kills the kid too. He grabs Ruark, who offers the single F-bomb in the movie.
Worst deal I ever made.
Before the Ghost Rider uses his chains and literally throws the devil into hell.
Then the Rider stops being so vengeful for a moment and saves the kid from the car and gives him to Nadia. After he transforms back, Johnny then reveals that he could sense the angel within the Ghost Rider and uses the blue glowy skeleton hand to heal Danny.
Did we win?
I'm gonna say yes.
Aw man, I was hoping it was gonna say,
Hell yes.
let's freaking go high!
My name is Johnny Blaze. I'm the Ghost Rider.
Well, I guess that's the end. Alright, Mia, what'd you think of the movie?
It's bad.
How bad?
Pretty bad.
Let's talk about the main problem with this film, the writing.
This movie is just as contrived, confusing, and stupid as the last one, only worse. And unfortunately doesn't have the same fun feeling as the first movie.
This one's trying to go for more of a darker tone, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but doesn't have the pizzazz to keep you interested.
Although in some sections, there is too much pizzazz. Like most of the movie is kind of like, we're just cruising along, pretty generic movie. Then all of a sudden they smack you out of nowhere with some bizarre action scenes or visuals and camera work.
The visuals are fairly impressive, especially considering the fact that they dropped the budget so much from the first one. But overall, while the CGI thing is better in this movie, the design choices are rather lackluster.
Tell us in the comments, are you team White Skull or Black Skull? Put your opinions in, and you'll be judged accordingly.
Based on the behind the scenes, I can appreciate a lot of the work that went into the movie, like how they shot certain things, or how they shot in really inhospitable locations.
Indeed, quite a few of the locations in the movie are real-life locations, and many of them were hell on earth to shoot at.
And apparently there were language barriers that almost caused half the crew to possibly walk off, and part of a building to be destroyed that they actually wanted to use, so overall it's in like a big mess, and it is impressive that they got the film out in the first place. That being said, I can't really say that this film is even watchable.
If you really, really wanted to watch this film, you could just watch the first film, and if that one doesn't do it for you, just watch another better film.
As you mentioned earlier, it's just not as fun as the first one, and I don't even know if the cast and crew had as much fun, as the directors in the behind the scenes just complained most of the time, and Nick Cage sleptwalked for most of his performance.
Speaking of Nick Cage, it is interesting, I don't know who did it in the first movie, but in this movie, he plays the Ghost Rider as well. So all the weird swaying crying and stuff he's doing, I guess, is his interpretation of Ghost Rider. So that's cool. In addition, he was also method acting and had white and black face paint on. So he did act sometimes.
Yeah, but looking at the behind the scenes, it was just kind of sad. And yeah, didn't like the movie. 2 out of 10 maybe, if I'm being generous. Maybe 3 out of 10, I guess there are worse films, but for the genre that's it just really ain't it. But that's just our opinions. Let us know your opinions in the comments down below.
Go ahead and like this video if you liked it, if you don't mind, because this channel is in a dark place, as views have fallen significantly.
We'll be trying out some new types of videos on this channel. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of traction with them. And if you're interested, feel free to subscribe and join us on this journey of self-discovery.
And if you missed the first Ghost Rider video, you can check it out over here.
And if you want to check out another video that I think was pretty good, check out this one over here.
Until we see you next time, he is Keto.
And he's Mio. And we hope that you have a blessed day.
Bye!